Welcome to my channel. Try to hear the latest story.
My partner shared a post on Facebook visible to all our acquaintances, saying I was unfaithful because you're utterly dull in the bedroom. Face the facts. I replied with alright, got it. Then I forwarded captures of the screen to her extremely traditional faith-based parents. The following day, she was without a home and rejected by her family. I'm a 26-year-old guy who never anticipated starting the day with 47 unanswered calls and my device exploding with alerts. But sure enough, there it was, mentioned by my girlfriend Jennifer, 24, in an open Facebook entry. Finally being truthful, I've been betraying William for 2 months with Christopher, since William is dull as anything in bed, like observing grass grow degrees of dull. At least Christopher has skills. Accept the truth, William. 312 likes. 89 responses. All our shared contacts, her colleagues, my relatives. I remained there for about 5 minutes simply gazing. We'd been a couple for 3 years, cohabiting for 1. I'd been preparing to ask for her hand next month, with the ring already stashed in my drawer for socks. The replies were a blend of surprise, folks supporting me, and her pals encouraging her. Her closest friend Patricia remarked, "Yes, Queen," at last revealing the facts. Another buddy wrote, "Go for it, girl, existence is too brief for poor intimacy." I didn't reply right away. Instead, I captured images of it all. The entry, each individual reply, her pals urging her. Then I went through our message logs and captured the texts from the prior week where she declared her affection, addressing me as darling, arranging for our milestone celebration. At last, I responded, "All right, got it. That's all. 2 terms." Then I took another step. You see, Jennifer hails from a highly conservative spiritual household, the type where her father is a church elder, her mother manages the religious childcare, and they still believe she's pure. She informed them we slept in different rooms and that I was merely a housemate to satisfy them. They possessed the place we reside in. She claimed they were assisting with payments, but I discovered later they cover all costs. I assembled a collection, captures of her entry, her pals' remarks, and then I included additional items. Images from her Instagram updates displaying her at nightclubs when she claimed to her folks she was at scripture sessions. Photos of us obviously as partners that she'd concealed from them. I dispatched it all to her parents, her father, her mother, her deeply devout elder sibling Michael, who's training to become a minister. Then I gathered my belongings. First edition, wow, this exploded. Fine, so this is what occurred afterward. I was placing my final container into my vehicle when the chaos began. Jennifer had headed to a meal with Patricia and some other companions to commemorate her liberation and candor. Her phrasing from her Instagram update. Yes, she continued sharing about it. Her father phoned her. She ignored it. Her mother phoned. Ignored. Then Michael arrived at the residence. As per my ex-neighbor who messaged me the details step by step, Michael was furious. Like scriptural anger degree furious. He pounded on the entrance for 20 minutes. When Jennifer eventually returned, the yelling confrontation was epic. Police were summoned. But this is where it becomes intriguing. It appears Daddy Elder wasn't solely upset about the betrayal and deception. You see, Jennifer's parents hold ownership of the residence. She pays no lease. Never did. They purchased it as a venture, but actually it was solely for their precious daughter. She'd been deceiving me regarding contributing her portion. By 6 p.m., I received a message from Michael. You have no concerns. She has 72 hours to leave. My parents requested I express regret to you for my siblings' conduct. You're a decent guy. Jennifer began contacting me around 7 p.m. 47 attempts. I didn't pick up any, but she overloaded my voice messages. William, what on earth did you do? This isn't amusing now. Pick up. My parents severed ties with me, you jerk. Where can I stay? Christopher isn't responding to my attempts. You destroyed my existence over a prank. A prank. She shamed me before everyone we know and labeled it I shared a basic Facebook update. Progressing ahead. Grateful to all who contacted. I'm fine. The remarks on her initial entry began changing. Abruptly, all those folks supporting her became very silent. Second edition. Prepare yourselves because this worsens for her and somehow more outrageous. So Jennifer wound up residing with Patricia. Evidently, Christopher, the intimacy expert she discarded our bond for? Yeah, he's wedded. Has been throughout. When his spouse discovered, I forwarded her captures the same day I reached out to Jennifer's parents. He cut off Jennifer everywhere and entered complete crisis management. But Jennifer isn't surrendering without resistance. She launched an entire offensive against me on social platforms. Per her, I was economically controlling because I required her to cover her own coffee runs. I was domineering because I requested she message me upon arriving home securely. I coerced her into infidelity. Still attempting to decipher that reasoning, I alienated her relatives with falsehoods. Captures are falsehoods, apparently. Her companions were devouring it. Patricia created a Facebook community named Aid Jennifer Victims of Psychological Harm. They had 23 participants, mainly Jennifer's circle, all exchanging tales about their harmful former partners. Then Jennifer committed a critical error. She shared in the community that she planned to litigate against me for slander and psychological harm. Stated her relative was an attorney and handling it without charge. She sought $50,000 for distress and insisted I fund her counseling. Here's the detail about Jennifer. She overlooks that my closest buddy David works as a legal assistant. And her relative? He's a property lawyer who explicitly stated he avoids personal conflicts. David researched him. David chuckled so intensely he almost gagged on his drink when I displayed the shares. But then Jennifer intensified. She appeared at my job. Third edition. I must rewind slightly since some inquired about the sequence. This all commenced on a Sunday. The Facebook entry. By Wednesday, she was evicted. By Friday, she was at Patricia's. The next Monday is when she arrived at my workplace. I handle IT for a medium-scale firm. Fairly relaxed spot, but we maintain protection due to managing confidential info. I'm at my workstation when I receive a call from the front desk. William, there's a Jennifer here. She claims she must talk to you immediately about giving back your residence key. We never resided in my place. We stayed in her parents' place. This was a fabrication to bypass security. I informed them I wasn't free and to kindly request she depart. That's when she flipped out. Per the surveillance recording that my supervisor displayed to me afterward, she escalated from calm to deranged in roughly 3 seconds, yelling about how I wrecked her life, how I owed her funds, how she would reveal me to my firm. He's a tormentor. He separated me from my relatives. He caused me to feel so undesired I needed to seek solace elsewhere. Security removed her. She attempted to fight back. It didn't end positively. They contacted law enforcement. My supervisor summoned me to his room. I believed I was finished. Instead, he presented an email he'd gotten that morning from an unknown profile. Title, The Reality About William. It was lengthy nonsense about how I was a tormentor, a schemer, how I posed a risk to females at work. But here's the twist. The email originated from an IP linked to Patricia's housing area, and it was dispatched 2 hours prior to Jennifer's arrival at my workplace. They orchestrated this. They aimed to have me terminated. My supervisor, luckily, is a solid person. He'd viewed the original Facebook entry. One of my colleagues had shared it when it spread in our work discussion. He advised me to seek a protection order and provided the remainder of the week off. Compensated. That evening, something wonderful occurred. Recall Michael, the faithful sibling? He created his own Facebook entry. I've remained silent from respect for my relatives, but I can't continue. My sibling Jennifer is not the injured party here. She was unfaithful, deceived, and disgraced a fine man who cared for her. Now she's fabricating about him being harmful. I've known William for 3 years. He pampered her like royalty. She discarded it for notoriety and is now dealing with the repercussions of her choices. I'm embarrassed to consider her my sibling. William, if you're viewing this, my relatives owe you regret. You merited superior. 357 forwards, 892 responses. The momentum was shifting. 4th edition. I obtained the protection order. It was unexpectedly straightforward with the surveillance recording, the emails, and the voice recordings. Remember those 47 attempts? She left some truly menacing messages. But Jennifer wasn't finished. No, she was merely beginning. Patricia shared in their aid community that they were planning a demonstration outside my housing complex to reveal the facts. They crafted placards. Real placards. William is a tormentor. Trust females. Fairness for Jennifer. 8 individuals appeared. 8. From her 23-person aid community, my neighbor Mrs. Sue, a 70-year-old Korean woman who prepares the finest fermented cabbage, was not tolerating it. She summoned law enforcement right away. Then she did something superior. She broadcasted live on Facebook. These insane women bothering my neighbor. He's such a kind young man, always assists with my shopping. That woman was unfaithful to him and announced it on Facebook. Now she's here with placards? No decency. Mrs. Sue has 14 grandkids. Those grandkids circulated her clip. It spread widely in our town's Facebook communities. Law enforcement arrived. Jennifer had a protection order. She was detained. Once more. But hold on, there's additional. While Jennifer was being detained, I was conferring with David and a genuine attorney. Turns out, fabricating claims of harm, dispatching slanderous emails to someone's boss, and coordinating harassment efforts, that's pursuable in court. We dispatched a stop and refrain to both Jennifer and Patricia. We also forwarded duplicates to the other participants in their Facebook community. Within a day, the community was removed. Then I received an unforeseen call. Jennifer's father. William, I lack words. We viewed the surveillance recording. We saw the detention log. I'm revolted. You were like kin to us. And I faltered as a parent. I'm regretful. He informed me they've severed her completely, altered the locks on other assets they possess. Evidently, they have multiple leases, excised her from their estate, even terminated her vehicle coverage. The vehicle's titled to them as well. Jennifer's mother forwarded me a lengthy message expressing regret and stating they're in relative therapy to determine their errors. In the meantime, I got a note from Christopher's spouse. She expressed gratitude for the captures and said she's pursuing separation. She mentioned Christopher attempted to fault Jennifer for enticing him, but she wasn't accepting it. Evidently, this wasn't his initial betrayal. Concluding addition. It's been 3 weeks since this commenced. 3 weeks since I awoke to that Facebook entry. Here's the status of everyone. After being detained twice, she finally understood. She's residing with some far-off relative in another region. Last I learned, via Michael, she's employed at a customer service hub and resting on an inflatable bed. She's been entirely severed by her relatives. No legacy, no aid, zilch. Her Instagram is restricted now, but Patricia still shares about their recovery path and how they're resilient. Christopher never communicated with her again. The guy she abandoned a 3-year bond for cut off her contact and returned to his spouse, who separated from him regardless. Me, I located a superior residence nearer to employment. My supervisor awarded me a salary increase for managing a tough scenario with composure. His phrasing, I'm in counseling not due to injury, but because I aim to ensure I don't overlook warnings ahead. The ring? I exchanged it and applied the funds for a loan journey to Japan I've long desired. I depart next month. The court matters. My attorney dispatched the ultimate request document. If Jennifer or any of her companions reach out to me, my boss, or issue further public declarations about me, we advance with the slander action. Thus far, quiet. The acquaintances, most of our joint contacts aligned with me after viewing the proof. The ones who didn't, farewell. My true companions organized a liberation gathering last weekend. Mrs. Sue prepared fermented cabbage rice. David introduced his fresh partner. It was pleasant. Jennifer's parents. They forwarded me a payment for $3,000 with a message indicating it was for the inconvenience and requesting I not litigate their daughter. I sent it back, stating it's not their responsibility. Some of you inquired if I remorse escalating drastically. If I should have simply departed quietly and continued. Possibly. But here's the point. She didn't merely betray. She disgraced me openly. She attempted to ruin my standing for amusement. She got her companions to join in. Then when confronted with outcomes, she tried to demolish my profession and get me detained. So no, I don't remorse anything. To all experiencing something alike, record all. Safeguard yourself judicially. Don't interact straight. Allow them to sabotage themselves. And Jennifer, if you're viewing this from your relative's inflatable bed, was Christopher valuable? Farewell, online community. Grateful for tracking this crazy adventure. Addition. Since some inquired, yes, this is authentic. No, I won't distribute the real captures or clips for clear judicial causes. And to the individual who contacted me claiming they believe they recognize Patricia, please avoid reaching anyone connected. Let's allow this to conclude here. Second edition. Goodness. Michael just messaged me. Evidently, Jennifer attempted to launch a crowdfunding page asserting she was a sufferer of economic harm and required assistance to recover. It was flagged and removed within hours. She truly doesn't improve, does she?